Welcome to Stoic In Your Life, where we explore the profound wisdom of Stoicism and its practical application in our modern world. Today's topic delves into a crucial aspect of our character: kindness. But is there such a thing as being too kind? Let's uncover this together. Too much of a good thing can be wonderful, Mae West once quipped, but when it comes to kindness, this excess might not always lead to wonderful outcomes. Stoicism, a philosophy that guides us to live with virtue and resilience, also teaches us the importance of balance. While being generous and kind is commendable, it's essential to recognize when these virtues start costing us our peace and well-being. In this video, we will explore 7 critical lessons on how excessive kindness can be detrimental. We often hear about the virtues of generosity and selflessness, but what happens when our endless giving leaves us empty? Can being perpetually available and overly helpful lead to our detriment? It's crucial to understand that while Stoicism encourages virtue, it doesn't advocate self-sacrifice to the point of self-harm. We live in a world where our acts of kindness are not always reciprocated. It's not uncommon to see generous individuals draining themselves in their pursuit of helping others. My journey with Stoicism has not only reshaped my perspective, but also fortified my emotional resilience. In this video, we'll dive into 7 scenarios where excessive kindness can backfire and how Stoic principles can help us set healthy boundaries in our lives. Thank you for joining me on this journey of self-improvement through Stoicism. If you're new here, I encourage you to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Remember, only a small fraction of viewers are subscribed, so if you find value in this content, your subscription would be greatly appreciated. Let's embark on this enlightening journey together. The risk of enabling dependency. Excessive kindness, while often well-intentioned, can inadvertently lead to enabling dependency in others. This is particularly evident when we constantly step in to solve problems for others, thereby hindering their development of problem-solving skills and resilience. This lesson is deeply rooted in the Stoic virtue of wisdom, which advocates for encouraging growth and self-reliance in others, rather than fostering a cycle of dependency. A poignant example of this can be seen in the story of a young woman whose parents, out of love, shield her from the legal repercussions of her drinking problem. Their actions, though meant to protect, prevent her from facing the harsh reality of her addiction, thereby enabling it. Similarly, a young man's addiction escalates as his wife, driven by fear and shame, covers up his irresponsible behaviors. Her actions, though intended to keep the family intact, only serve to deepen his addiction. In another instance, an elderly woman's family refuses to acknowledge her substance abuse, attributing her injuries to old age. This denial only perpetuates her addiction. These stories highlight a crucial aspect of kindness. It must be balanced with wisdom. Kindness without wisdom can lead to harmful enabling, where we inadvertently become accomplices in another's self-destructive behavior. The key is to offer support that empowers individuals to face their challenges and grow from them, rather than shielding them from the consequences of their actions. In conclusion, the lesson here is clear. While kindness is a virtue, it must be exercised with wisdom and discernment. We must learn to support others in a way that promotes their growth and independence, rather than inadvertently contributing to their struggles. This approach not only benefits them but also contributes to our own personal growth and development. Becoming everyone's go-to problem solver. This role, while noble in its intention, can ensnare you in a web where your time and energy are ceaselessly demanded, leaving scant room for your own needs and aspirations. It's a subtle shift, where your generosity in helping others gradually morphs into a relentless demand on your resources. This situation echoes the Stoic philosophy, as famously stated by Seneca: associate with people who are likely to improve you. It serves as a reminder that while helping others is virtuous, it should not come at the cost of your own growth and well-being. The lesson here delves into the importance of not allowing your kindness to transform you into a perpetual rescuer. This role, though initially fulfilling, can become draining and unsustainable in the long run. It's akin to the metaphor of the oxygen mask in airplanes. You are advised to secure your mask before helping others. This is not selfishness, but a practical approach to ensure you are in a position to offer help sustainably. In modern life, where the demands on a man's time and resources are multifaceted and relentless, it becomes even more crucial to maintain this balance. The constant pressure to solve problems for others can lead to burnout, a sense of loss of control over one's life, and ironically, a decrease in the ability to be genuinely helpful. Expanding on this, it's essential to understand that being a problem solver is commendable, but it should not define your entire existence. There's a fine line between being helpful and being used. It's about setting boundaries and understanding that it's okay to say no when you're overstretched. This doesn't diminish your kindness. Rather, it ensures that your acts of kindness are more impactful and genuine. In the context of modern life, where the pace is relentless and the challenges are complex, it's vital to prioritize self-care and personal development. This doesn't mean turning your back on others, but rather ensuring that you're helping from a place of strength and not from a depleted well. Moreover, it's important to encourage self-reliance in others. Constantly solving problems for people can inadvertently lead to dependency, which is neither beneficial for them nor for you. It's about empowering others to find solutions, guiding them rather than doing it for them. This approach fosters resilience and independence in others, which is a far more lasting and meaningful form of help. In conclusion, while kindness and helping others are noble pursuits, they should be balanced with self-care and personal growth. The modern man must navigate this path carefully, ensuring that his generosity enriches rather than depletes his life. By setting boundaries, focusing on self-improvement, and empowering others to be self-reliant, he can maintain a sustainable and fulfilling path of kindness. Remember, true kindness is not just about solving problems for others. It's also about being kind to yourself and ensuring that you're in a strong position to offer help that is both meaningful and sustainable. Don't set yourself on fire to warm others. In our pursuit of a meaningful and ethical life, Stoics like Marcus Aurelius remind us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom is particularly relevant when considering the balance between kindness and self-preservation. Often, in our eagerness to help others, we might overlook our well-being, akin to setting ourselves on fire to warm others. This concept is not just a philosophical musing, but a practical guide to living. It's about setting boundaries in our relationships to maintain a balance, ensuring we don't compromise our authenticity and well-being for the sake of others. Consider a story from a farm, illustrating this dilemma through the friendship of a horse and a donkey. The horse, burdened with heavy work, confides in the donkey, who suggests a ruse to avoid labor. The plan backfires, leaving the donkey exhausted and injured, embodying the generous hearts who, in their eagerness to help, end up burdened by others' tasks. This story is not just a rural fable, but a mirror to our lives. How often have we played the role of the donkey, offering help only to find ourselves overwhelmed? In modern life, where the pace is relentless and the demands on our time and energy are incessant, it's more important than ever to practice Stoicism's self-reflection. This means pausing to question our immediate reactions and ensuring our choices align with our values and not just impulsive desires to help. It's about understanding that true kindness also involves being kind to oneself. So, to the men out there, learning to balance kindness with self-care is not just a lesson but a necessity. It's about recognizing when to extend a helping hand and when to hold back for your well-being. Share your experiences in the comments. Remember, in the journey of life, carrying others' burdens should not lead to losing yourself in the process. Let's strive for a balance where our kindness enriches both our lives and those of others, guided by reason and virtue. In the words of Epictetus, a renowned Stoic philosopher, when you are about to start some task, stand for a moment and reflect on the nature of the task you are about to perform. You will do your task with greater security if, before you begin, you say to yourself, I want to accomplish this task, and at the same time, I want to keep my moral purpose in harmony with nature. This profound statement sets the stage for understanding the delicate balance between kindness and self-preservation. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers valuable insights into this balance. It encourages a new way of thinking, one that emphasizes rationality and emotional resilience. The core lesson here is about helping others without compromising oneself. It's about offering assistance, but not to the extent that it becomes a burden on oneself. Stoics advocate for balanced relationships where both parties contribute equally and no one is unduly sacrificed. This concept is encapsulated in the saying, "Don't set yourself on fire to warm others." It's a powerful reminder to live rationally, maintain balanced relationships, and avoid making excessive sacrifices. These sacrifices, while seemingly noble, can often lead to a loss of personal integrity and well-being. To further illustrate this point, consider the story of a farmer who consistently helped his neighbors but neglected his own fields. As a result, his crops failed, leaving him unable to provide for his family or continue assisting others. This story mirrors the Stoic teaching, highlighting the importance of caring for oneself while helping others. It's crucial to recognize the signs of excessive kindness. These include feeling drained or resentful, neglecting personal needs, and consistently prioritizing others at one's expense. It's essential to set boundaries and practice self-care to avoid these pitfalls. Moreover, it's important to understand that true kindness is not just about giving, but also about empowering others. Instead of always being the one to offer help, encourage others to be self-reliant. This approach fosters a healthier dynamic in relationships and communities. In conclusion, the lesson here is to strive for a balance between kindness and self-care. It's about being helpful, but not at the cost of one's well-being. The advice for the audience is to reflect on their actions, ensure they are not overextending themselves, and maintain a harmonious balance in life. By doing so, one can live a fulfilling life, both in helping others and in preserving one's integrity and well-being. As you continue on your journey of self-improvement, I commend you for your commitment to becoming a better version of yourself. Your engagement and feedback are invaluable, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. If you've made it this far, simply comment, "I am Stoic," to show your engagement, and don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. Being seen and treated as fragile. Stoicism, a philosophy that has stood the test of time, teaches us the importance of inner strength and self-control. It emphasizes cultivating a healthier mind, establishing boundaries, and practicing self-discipline. This philosophy resonates deeply when we consider the paradox of being excessively helpful. While it may seem counterintuitive, too much kindness can lead to being perceived as fragile, a situation that Cicero, a renowned Stoic philosopher, would have contemplated deeply. He famously said, "What you think of yourself is much more important than what others think of you." This quote underscores the essence of self-perception and its impact on our interactions with the world. Imagine a scenario where your constant willingness to help, to take on any task without hesitation, paints you not as a collaborator, but as someone easily exploited. This lack of boundaries invites others to see your kindness as a weakness. They may start to take advantage, using your willingness for their benefit, leading to your exhaustion and frustration. It's a modern-day dilemma where the lines between being helpful and being taken for granted are often blurred. However, there's a transformative power in the act of saying no. When you start to assert your boundaries firmly yet respectfully, the perception others have of you shifts dramatically. You are no longer the person who accepts everything without question. Instead, you become someone who values themselves enough to set limits. This change is not just about how others see you, it's about how you see yourself. You transition from a state of perceived fragility to one of respected strength. This strength is not just about external respect, but also about self-respect. Respect comes not only from what you do for others, but from how you treat yourself. By setting boundaries and practicing self-discipline, you communicate to the world that you deserve dignity and respect. In today's fast-paced, demanding world, this message is more important than ever. It's a reminder that your value isn't determined by how much you can do for others, but by how you uphold your self-worth. Therefore, the next time you find yourself in a situation where your limits are being tested, remember the power and strength contained in that small word, no. By uttering it, you are not just defending yourself, you are reaffirming your value. You are demonstrating that you are a person of substance, capable of balancing kindness with self-respect. In doing so, you embody the true essence of Stoicism, living a life that is not only beneficial to others but also deeply respectful of your own well-being and dignity. In navigating the complexities of life, it's crucial to understand the messages our actions convey to the world. When you're someone who extends help unconditionally, it's not uncommon to find that people seek you out primarily in times of need. This pattern, while initially seeming harsh, is not entirely unexpected. People often gravitate towards inviting those they share a genuine, balanced relationship with for leisure activities, leaving out those seen more as colleagues or mere helpers. This shift in social dynamics can be jarring and feel unjust, but it's a reality that many face. Imagine this. You're the person everyone calls for help, known for your unwavering kindness and willingness to lend a hand. Yet when it comes to celebrations or casual gatherings, your phone remains silent. Friends who once enjoyed your company now seem to remember you only when they need something. This situation can lead to feelings of disillusionment and betrayal, as if your kindness is being exploited. However, adopting a Stoic perspective can offer a different viewpoint. This situation can be seen as a test of discernment, challenging you to distinguish between those who genuinely value your friendship and those who are merely taking advantage of your generosity. It's a lesson in understanding the limits of kindness and recognizing the importance of reciprocal relationships. To illustrate this further, consider the story of Alex, a generous individual always ready to assist others. Alex's kindness was well known, and as a result, many approached him only when they needed help. Over time, Alex noticed his absence from social gatherings and realized that his constant availability had led others to view him more as a resource than a friend. This realization was painful, but crucial. It led Alex to reassess his approach to relationships, understanding that while kindness is a virtue, it should not come at the cost of his own well-being and social inclusion. In your journey of self-improvement, it's essential to strike a balance. Being kind and helpful is admirable, but it's equally important to ensure that your generosity is not being exploited. Learn to set boundaries and recognize the value of relationships that are mutually respectful and beneficial. Remember, true friends appreciate you for who you are, not just for what you can do for them. In conclusion, while kindness is a beautiful quality, it's vital to practice it with discernment. Understand that not everyone who seeks your help is a true friend, and that it's okay to say no sometimes. By doing so, you not only protect yourself from being taken advantage of, but also foster healthier, more balanced relationships. The key lesson here is to be kind, but also be wise. Your well-being is just as important as your generosity. We will see who our true friends are. True friendship is revealed not through words but actions. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, teaches us not to foster cynicism or mistrust, but to develop a keen understanding of human nature. It's about discerning who genuinely needs and values our support, allowing us to conserve our energy for meaningful relationships. This discernment doesn't breed negativity. Instead, it guides us to invest in those who appreciate us for our essence, not just our offerings. Stoicism offers practical tools for thriving in life, particularly in managing our minds and emotions. It presents a challenge: to practice Stoic self-discipline by establishing clear boundaries. This is crucial in determining where to channel our time and energy. By maintaining a balanced approach to generosity, directing it towards individuals who genuinely value our help, we align with Stoic principles. This alignment leads to peace and fulfillment amidst the complexities of human interactions. However, setting boundaries is easier said than done. It's a simple concept, but can be disorienting without practice. Where does one start? The key lies in understanding that boundaries are not barriers. They are the lines we draw to protect our well-being while still allowing us to be compassionate and kind. It's about giving without depleting ourselves, loving without losing ourselves. Let's consider a story that illustrates this point. Imagine a gardener who loves to tend to his plants. He waters them, nurtures them, and watches them grow. However, he realizes that if he overwaters them, they begin to wilt. The plants need care, but too much of it can be detrimental. Similarly, we need to nurture our relationships with care and kindness, but overextending ourselves can lead to exhaustion and resentment. Expanding on this, it's essential to recognize the signs of overextending our kindness. Are we feeling drained more often than fulfilled? Do we find ourselves constantly sacrificing our needs for others? These are indicators that our generosity might be crossing into self-neglect. It's a delicate balance, one that requires constant self-reflection and adjustment. In conclusion, the lesson here is about finding harmony in our interactions. It's about understanding that true kindness also involves being kind to ourselves. We should strive to offer support and compassion, but not at the cost of our well-being. The advice for the audience is to practice self-awareness, recognize the value of setting boundaries, and remember that it's okay to say no. By doing so, we not only improve our lives but also set a foundation for healthier, more genuine relationships. Remember, in the art of kindness, the first person you need to be kind to is yourself. Received requests have no limits. In a world where kindness is often seen as a virtue, it's important to ask ourselves, are we being too kind? This question might seem strange at first, but let's delve into it with a perspective that combines ancient wisdom and modern-day scenarios. Imagine, centuries ago, royalty who couldn't dress themselves or comb their own hair, relying entirely on attendants for basic personal tasks. This might seem extreme, but it's not too different from today's world, where people often expect us to fulfill their requests, even those they could handle themselves. Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers valuable insights into setting boundaries and practicing moderation. It teaches us to balance our generosity, ensuring that we don't lose ourselves in the process of helping others. Think about it. When we constantly take on responsibilities that aren't ours, we not only burden ourselves but also deny others the opportunity to face their own challenges and grow. Take, for instance, the story of a mother and her adult daughter in a small town. The mother, out of love, took care of her sick daughter, doing everything for her. The daughter became dependent, barely managing basic tasks. Tragically, when the mother passed away, everyone worried about the daughter's future. However, she surprised everyone by quickly adapting to life on her own, highlighting how excessive care can impede personal growth. This pattern of one-sided giving, where we constantly help others while neglecting our own needs, traps us in a cycle of exhaustion and emotional drain. It's crucial to practice balanced generosity. If we give too much, people might start expecting more, creating a never-ending cycle of demands. Remember, as the wise Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "A man's job is to stand upright, not to be kept upright by others." This quote beautifully encapsulates the essence of balanced kindness. By practicing moderation in our generosity, we maintain control over our actions and protect our emotional well-being. It's not about stopping help altogether, but about finding a healthy balance. When we set clear boundaries, we not only preserve our peace, but also encourage others to grow and become self-reliant. True generosity is a delicate balance that benefits both the giver and the receiver. It's about helping others while also taking care of ourselves. By setting limits and practicing moderation, we can avoid the pitfalls of excessive kindness and foster a healthier, more balanced approach to helping others. This way, we not only contribute to their growth but also ensure our own well-being and peace of mind. Seneca, the esteemed Stoic philosopher, once insightfully remarked, "He who begins to be your friend because of the benefit will also cease because of the benefit." This profound statement underscores the peril of forming relationships based on external rewards rather than the intrinsic value of friendship itself. It's a cautionary reminder, especially relevant in today's world, where the allure of material or social gain often overshadows the pursuit of genuine connections. In the realm of friendships and relationships, the danger of being excessively kind or generous looms large. This over-generosity, often rooted in a fear of judgment or a desire to please, can lead to relationships that are, at their core, transactional. People may be drawn to what we can offer or do for them rather than who we are. This dynamic is not confined to personal relationships but extends to professional and social interactions as well. The Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on self-sufficiency and internal control, challenges this notion. It encourages us to find our sense of value and worthiness from within, not from the external validation or benefits we can provide to others. Consider the metaphor of a tree. Just as a tree's strength lies in its roots and not in the fruits it offers, our personal value and self-worth should be rooted in our character and self-esteem, not in the external benefits we can provide. This internal grounding is crucial because relationships built on the shaky foundation of external interests are inherently fragile. They are likely to crumble under the slightest pressure or change, as the Stoic philosopher Epictetus pointed out. In prosperity, it is very easy to find friends. In adversity, there is nothing more difficult. To foster authentic connections, we must first accept ourselves, embracing both our flaws and qualities. This acceptance allows us to form bonds that are not only resilient but also nurturing, enabling both personal growth and a genuine appreciation of our true essence. In the modern world, where the pressure to conform and please is ever present, this approach is not just refreshing but essential. It's a path to forming relationships that are not only more fulfilling but also more enduring. So while kindness and generosity are virtues, they must stem from a place of self-awareness and self-respect. As we navigate the complexities of modern relationships, let us remember Seneca's wisdom and strive to build connections that are rooted in genuine understanding and mutual respect, rather than external incentives. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in ancient wisdom, teaches us the art of living a virtuous life. It emphasizes the importance of self-improvement, emotional mastery, and living in harmony with our core values. This philosophy guides us to prioritize our well-being and authenticity, ensuring we don't lose ourselves in the process of helping others. However, there's a fine line between being kind and overburdening ourselves with others' responsibilities. When we excessively focus on others' needs, we risk neglecting our own, leading to an imbalance that can harm our authenticity and well-being. This often stems from an internal struggle, where we use our dedication to others as a shield against facing our own fears and limitations. The cost of this relentless dedication is significant. We risk losing our identity and ignoring our own life's path as our inner voice becomes muffled by the clamor of others' needs. This can lead to a profound sense of loss and the eventual resurgence of the very fears and pains we sought to avoid. Stoicism teaches us that caring for ourselves and setting boundaries is not selfish, but essential for maintaining our authenticity and living a meaningful life. Cicero, a renowned Stoic philosopher, poignantly captured this sentiment, stating, "Of all the days of our life, few are dedicated to ourselves." This highlights the importance of allocating time for self-care and personal growth. When you find yourself overwhelmed by the urge to constantly serve others, pause and reflect. Embrace the discomfort of solitude and approach your emotions with compassion. Recognize and honor your own needs and desires. Establishing healthy boundaries and learning to say no is crucial. By doing so, you not only nurture your inner self but also enable yourself to offer more balanced and genuine support to others. It's vital to efficiently manage your time and resources, akin to the principle of putting on your own oxygen mask first before assisting others. This approach allows you to help others more effectively without neglecting your own needs. In conclusion, embracing Stoic principles can profoundly transform your life. It teaches you to balance kindness with self-care, ensuring that your generosity towards others doesn't come at the expense of your own well-being. By setting boundaries and prioritizing your own needs, you not only preserve your authenticity but also enhance your ability to contribute meaningfully to the world around you. Remember, The journey to a virtuous and fulfilling life begins with self-awareness and the courage to honor your own path. Reciprocity has an expiration date. The concept of reciprocity, while noble, often comes with an invisible expiration date. Stoicism teaches us the virtue of giving without expecting anything in return, yet human nature inclines us to anticipate reciprocal actions. This expectation, however, can lead to disappointment and a sense of betrayal when not met. It's crucial to understand that people's memories and gratitude can fade over time, even if they initially express immense appreciation for our help. Consider the story of a man who devoted his life to helping others. He gave his time, resources, and energy, always believing that those he helped would do the same for him in his time of need. Yet, when adversity struck, he found himself alone, realizing that the people he had helped had moved on with their lives. Their memories of his generosity faded. This story illustrates the harsh reality that our expectations of others can often lead to disillusionment. Similarly, there's a tale of a woman who, after years of selflessly supporting her friends, found herself in a crisis. She expected her friends to reciprocate her kindness, but to her dismay, they were nowhere to be found. This experience taught her the importance of emotional detachment and finding happiness within herself, rather than in the actions of others. These stories underscore the lesson that while giving is a noble act, attaching our happiness to others' reciprocity can be detrimental. It's healthier to give without expecting too much in return. This approach not only shields us from potential disappointments but also fosters a sense of inner peace and emotional independence. To further illustrate this point, consider the fable of the lion and the mouse. The lion, after sparing the mouse's life, never expected anything in return. However, when the lion later found himself trapped, it was the mouse that came to his rescue. This story teaches us that, while acts of kindness can sometimes be reciprocated in unexpected ways, it's the act of giving without expectation that truly defines our character. In conclusion, the lesson here is twofold. First, understand that reciprocity has its limits, and that people's memories and gratitude are not infinite. Second, learn to find joy and fulfillment in the act of giving itself, rather than in the expectation of receiving something in return. By doing so, we protect ourselves from disappointment and cultivate a sense of emotional resilience and inner peace. Remember, true generosity lies in giving without expecting anything back, and in this selfless act, we often find the greatest reward. The Stoics, ancient philosophers known for their practical wisdom, believed that our troubles often begin with the expectations we set for others. They argued that expecting others to act as we do leaves us exposed and vulnerable. This is particularly true when it comes to kindness and generosity. We naturally hope for reciprocity, but as Stoicism teaches, our control is limited strictly to our own actions and reactions, not those of others. Epictetus, a prominent Stoic philosopher, eloquently captured this sentiment in his discourses. There are two rules to keep ready: that there is nothing good or bad outside my own choice, and that we should not try to lead events but follow them. This powerful quote underscores a crucial Stoic principle: the importance of accepting events as they unfold, without clinging to illusory expectations or attempting to exert control over them. It reminds us that our perceptions of good and bad are intrinsically linked to our rational choices. When we extend kindness or generosity, it's essential to do so without the expectation of receiving anything in return. Expecting reciprocity can often lead to feelings of discouragement, frustration, and disillusionment. The Stoic approach encourages us to focus on what we can control, our actions, and to ensure they are genuinely productive. It's about investing our energy wisely, in areas within our power, rather than wasting it on things beyond our control. Stoicism's teachings go further, suggesting that true wealth is not in receiving but in giving without expectation. There is profound joy and peace of mind in the act of giving itself, irrespective of how others respond. This detached generosity, where we find inner satisfaction without the need for external recognition or reciprocity, is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy. To integrate this wisdom into our lives, let's consider a direct approach. Imagine you're extending a helping hand, offering support or sharing your resources. Do it with the mindset that your action is complete in itself, without attaching it to a desired outcome. This shift in perspective is not just about protecting ourselves from disappointment. It's about cultivating a sense of inner fulfillment and peace that comes from the act of giving itself. Incorporating a quote from Stoic philosopher Seneca can deepen our understanding. True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This aligns perfectly with the Stoic view on kindness. It's about finding joy in the present act of giving, free from the anxiety of how it will be received or reciprocated in the future. In summary, while being kind and generous, let's do so with a Stoic mindset. Let's give freely without the burden of expectation, focusing on what we can control, our actions. Let's find joy in the act of giving itself, embracing the present moment and the inner satisfaction it brings. This way, we not only protect ourselves from potential disappointment, but also cultivate a deeper sense of peace and fulfillment in our lives. Thank you for joining us on Stoic in Your Life. Today, we've explored the intricate balance between kindness and self-preservation, delving into the Stoic wisdom that guides us in nurturing healthy relationships and maintaining our well-being. As we conclude, remember that kindness is a virtue, but it must be balanced with wisdom and self-care. We've journeyed through 7 crucial lessons, each highlighting the importance of setting boundaries, encouraging self-reliance, and understanding the risks of excessive generosity. If you found value in our discussion, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us grow and continue to bring insightful content your way. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on our upcoming videos, where we'll continue to explore the profound teachings of Stoicism and their application in our daily lives. Your thoughts and experiences are important to us. Share your reflections in the comments below. How have you balanced kindness and self-care in your life? What lessons have you learned from your own experiences with generosity and boundaries? Remember, the path to a fulfilling life is not just about extending kindness to others, it's also about being kind to yourself. By embracing the Stoic principles of balance, wisdom, and self-awareness, we can navigate life's challenges with resilience and grace. Thank you for being part of our Stoic community. We look forward to continuing this journey with you. Until next time, stay wise, stay balanced, and keep exploring the depths of Stoicism in your life.